Brother Brown here. Talking about gear, you need to be able to find the gear that's in your price range. For crappies, you got to have kind of a thin rod, a rod that's kind of stout. I mean, this rod, if you catch a two-pound crappie, you should be able to lift that crappie right up with your line. And sometimes you have to go with 2-pound tests. The most important thing about these rods and reels is these reels have got to have a smooth drag. I mean, while you're in there with those jigs, you might be able to, you might be able to catch those bass or something. You don't want your rod or your drag to be messing up. You want to be able to have that to be very smooth. You don't want it to catch. And when you're down with those smaller lines, 2, 4, 6-pound tests, those drags have got to be smooth. So you might have to invest a little bit in the reel, or just make sure you take your time, even with a cheaper reel, to make sure that that drag is set correctly. Because when you're down in here, there's a lot of fish that swim with those crappies, and they're exploiting the baits that the crappies exploit. So fishing from the bank, I like the longer rods. It gives you access to 5 or 10 more feet. Because you have to cast out to get you a little bit more out there. Well, on your boat, you can do the shorter rods. It doesn't matter. But even I have like a 9 or 11 foot rod that I use on the boat because it allows me to do a lot of vertical jigging. If I was down south, like when I used to make my trips down to Yazoo City, I'd have a 12 or 14 foot rod and we'd be right up in there with the cypress. But with a lot of YouTubers know. They've tested a lot of this stuff. They know the stuff that lasts. They know the stuff that works good. But, it doesn't have to be pricey. I've been fishing for 30 or 40 years, so the stuff that I use, every time I buy a piece, it's for a certain reason. And I'm looking for a certain effect because I've been in a situation that I know that I need a certain piece of a tool. So my stuff is cheap. I said it's mid-level. And that's all you really need. As you keep fishing and doing anything, you're going to always upgrade your equipment as you get better at certain aspects of what you're doing. So shout out to Gene the Fishing Machine, Black Warrior Lures. Need to check him out. Very innovative fisherman. And Steve Comalander, when it comes to deep water fishing, this guy is incredible. Fishing is in his blood. Some things you'll never be able to learn is that certain fish feel. And it comes from being like in the woods for a deer hunter. They just look at sign. They just know certain things. So you have to stay out there on that water to be able to figure it out. All right.
This is Brother Brown. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And take a second and press the notification bell on the right there.